Growing up in the 80s, the Smurfs was a staple in many homes, offering up wholesome messaging while being bright, colourful and cheery. The fact that Smurfs is still around is really a testament to the franchise. And we've seen some big screen movies, toys, and of course, video games. I've always been a little trepidatious of video game tie-ins, with only a select handful being worthy of both the franchises they are based on and of course, your time. The Smurfs Dreams by Ocellus Studio was pitched to me as having Mario vibes, which admittedly made me even more cautious in investing time in the review. What's it like? Grab your blanket, fluff your pillow, and get cozy as we review the Smurfs Dreams on Nintendo Switch. Before we begin, don't sleep on hitting that like and subscribe button. It's the best way that What's It Like can keep me living the dream, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. I'm going to get this out of the way early in the review. The Smurfs Dreams is such a pleasant surprise, and I would have missed out on it had I not been approached by the publisher due to October's jam-packed release schedule. The premise of the game is Gargamel, the big bad wizard, has created a spell to magically put the Smurfs to sleep and use a dream catcher to finally locate the Smurfs village. The story is told via an animated storyboard style cutscenes, and despite there being no dialogue spoken, it does a great job in pushing the narrative forward. The gameplay revolves around you playing as a nameless Smurf, tasked by Papa Smurf to enter the astral plane and wake your fellow Smurfs from their deep slumber. Each constellation, which are the levels revolving around a particular Smurf, has a range of levels or chapters to get through before you can wake them up and return them to the village. The levels are themed and offer a lot of variety, as each one usually introduces its own fun mechanic, like using a fruit shooting gun, playing Smurf ball, or wielding a giant hammer to knock your opponents out. This introduction of new mechanics kept me engaged throughout, especially when coupled with the tight platforming and wonderful responsive controls that made the Smurfs Dreams a delight to play. Between each level, there's a neat transition where your Smurf will grind along a rail into the next area. And I'm not really sure if this is to disguise a loading time or a design choice, but it actually looks really cool and also served as a bit of a mental checkpoint for me, letting me feel a bit of a sense of accomplishment. Speaking of checkpoints, the game has them littered throughout the levels, meaning failure is usually only a minor setback, as well as keeping your progression on items when you die, meaning that you don't have to go recollect the item that you died trying to obtain. Die often you might though, as I found the difficulty to be challenging but not very frustrating, and you'll have to make use of your hover, dive and float jump moves to get out of harm's way. There are some great set pieces and boss fights that complement the level design, and it honestly feels like it pays homage to Super Mario 3D Land with some of its gameplay mechanics without shamelessly copying it. There are also plenty of things to collect in each level, and collecting blue mushrooms will act as a currency to unlock secret levels and add more to the game. These can usually be found off the hidden path or locked away behind a small puzzle involving stepping on smaller mushrooms with a certain time frame to reveal a hidden pathway. There are sections requiring tricky timing and utilizing a chain of moves, and it makes it feel rather rewarding when you pull it off. Another strength of the Smurfs Dreams is just how great everything looks on the Nintendo Switch. It's bright and colourful and has plenty of visual flair. Levels are interesting and littered with detail, and everything is just fantastically animated, especially the Smurfs, giving them so much personality and charm despite having zero dialogue. Performance is locked in at 30 frames and runs well in both handheld and dock modes. The art style is backed by a delightful soundtrack ranging from woodwinds to a full orchestral score, and it keeps in the theme of the whimsical nature of the game. For my Smurfs looking into accessibility options, I'm pleased to report that there is a colorblind mode for vision impaired gamers, and there is usually a bright contrast in colors that help make the player character easier to discern. That being said, your Smurf is quite small on screen at times, so caution is advised. As always, I recommend further research into finding out if the Smurfs Dreams suits your needs. At just under $60 Australian, the Smurfs Dreams is a thoroughly enjoyable adventure that will take you around 8 hours to complete. Dedicated Smurfs will be able to pad out that time by collecting everything and completing the hidden levels as well. It's a visually stunning platformer with tight controls, great level design, and fantastic gameplay mechanics that engage players by keeping the content fresh and exciting. There's plenty of collectibles to find, bosses to fight, and time to get lost in an enjoyable, bright and vibrant world. I didn't have the Smurfs Dreams being a contender of one of the best platformers released on my 2024 bingo card, yet here we are. So, what's it like? The Smurfs Dreams is like Crash Bandicoot crossed with Super Mario 3D Land. I award it 80 out of 100. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by the publisher, but this doesn't influence my score. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.